Well, folks, it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Welcome to Bob McVay's place. Got up here on a formerly beautiful day. Now it's actually raining here in central Ohio. Apparently we got thunderstorms on our way today. It's been a while since we've been up here with Mr. Bob McVay, and apparently he's working today. So I needed to run up here and bring him my camshaft, and he's also got some house guests in the house today. So I'm gonna swing in here and see how Bob's doing, see what he's working on today. Update you on my Pontiac process. For those of you who are new here, welcome aboard. We are actually working on two Pontiac 350 builds. We're building a bone stock type of build, except for we did rods and pistons in it. And we're also doing a 350 Pontiac HO build, which is gonna basically be a bunch of money spent on a Pontiac 350 with a roller camshaft and all the bells and whistles to try to make as much power as possible. Ain't that right, Bob?
Well, I hope someday that you don't have to say that, because you are wearing me out saying that.
I know.
And
I got to give a recap.
I'm going to, once I get healthy, I'm going to knock that son of a bitch out of here. So it
back to back.
Just so it's going. I don't have to listen to you say that continuously.
I understand.
I feel bad.
Do you? Do you? So if I keep saying it's going to motivate you?
Yeah, it's going to motivate me.
Or it's going to make him angry. One of the two. What are you working on over here? This one. Bill's deals?
Yeah, what's the Bizquick?
The Bizquick?
The Bizquick. The Bizquick.
Old man's garage Bizquick. Was that a 383?
They call it a 388, I guess. That's
388?
That's what I was told. Man, we are getting rain here.
Well, it's in like little spurts. All right, now we'll close the garage door. Central Ohio in the spring, you never know what kind of weather you're gonna get. So, to update you, my Pontiac 350 heads. These are both going to be cast iron heads, by the way. We're not getting into fancy aluminum stuff. We're doing this old school with cast iron stuff. Unfortunately, my heads that came off of my 1970 350 block, or my 1971 350 block, excuse me, the heads were unfortunately not in good shape. That's what this guy is sitting here. We got a brand new set of rods, factory crank, brand new set of rods, brand new set of pistons. But unfortunately, as we got ready to put the heads together, or to put the heads together, to test the heads before we put them on, realized we had a sunk valve situation. And in that case, I'm more of a guy that do it right, do it once kind of guy. So we needed to do exhaust seats because these are pre-hardened exhaust seats. And let's just go ahead and do it. So we're doing guides, we're doing seats, the whole 9 yards as far as a full valve job goes. We are not going to do any porting to these heads. We're going to leave these ones alone. But you can see Bob's already cut and put in the new valve guides. So your valve slides up and down through there. In order to do that, you actually just kind of basically cut this hole larger and larger and larger with this handy dandy little machine. And you can see here, this is the other heads for that same exact project. And you can see how big those holes now are, so that you can push those essentially sleeves down in here, which are your guides. So moving forward, the 350 Pontiac HO block is sitting over here doing a line honing. There is a little bit of a snafu. Bob managed to break a bit of his crank grinder machine and needs to get that up and running before he can do anything else with that side of things. So waiting on that to be able to get the crankshaft done. However, you go see who's in here in the guest appearance area. What have we got here, and who is this?
This is Eric Weingartner, but this isn't my engine.
What are we doing? What are you doing here?
I keep seeing on YouTube they talk about it's going to be a Ford engine. I said, no, it's on a Ford engine.
This is a Chevy one. This is a.
We don't do Fords here.
This is Nick's engine. We're just testing different cylinder heads. That's all we're doing. So boring stuff.
My hero.
Testing.
this guy. So you know how when I grow up I want to be Bob.
When I grow up I want to be Eric.
Yeah. So you're testing different cylinder heads, like multiple different sets of cylinder heads.
We've already ran a set of stock 997 heads. These are Rodix and IK heads. I did a little bit of pour work, nothing major. And then a set of AFR 195 Enforcer heads, and then the newer style Enforcer heads from AFR.
Nice. So just leave the short block on the dyno and do it all, just replace it here.
Yeah, we just like to torture ourselves.
Yeah. Rock and roll, take it apart, put it back together again.
We were just hoping to wait for 110 degree in summer, so we just kind of missed that part, but we're working on that.
I was pretty formed today.
Yeah.
81 degrees is 110% humidity. So what are you expecting to see power-wise out of this kind of thing? Any idea?
We made 480 yesterday with the stock heads. This will probably make 5 something.
Okay.
I ain't guessing because every time I'll guess wrong. Nick's better at guessing than I am.
How much work have you done to these heads?
So redid the valve job, just put my own profile on it, blended that, and then did the chambers because there's a lip on the IK heads whenever you get them from the factory.
Okay.
So once the valve job got done, I moved that out and blended that, and that's it.
Okay.
So they only flow like 244, so it's not something crazy.
Pump gas motor?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I think it's 10.3 to 1 now.
Okay.
It was 9 something before.
So still comfortably within 92 octane, 93 octane kind of stuff?
Yeah.
Nice. And then what are you running carburetor-wise?
This is a Pro System 1000 CFM carburetor. This is one of Nick's deals.
Okay.
And he's got his own trick spacer underneath here, and then a Performer RPM intake.
Okay.
We don't want to blow him out of the water with our ATM, huh?
Not yet. That's where the glory runs.
Yeah, there you go. Very cool. So you're known on YouTube for a whole lot of head trickery and the real mechanical stuff.
I don't know that I'm even known on YouTube, but
At least in the machining space, in the head.
yeah, I'd
head
say
game
more
space.
for the stoner heads and just dyno testing in general.
Yeah.
For camshafts and that sort of thing.
Camshaft challenge is one of your
Yeah.
big things.
So, and the Ford one is coming. That's just a delay process. The Chevy one's actually probably making more progress than it is right now. So.
Very cool. Well, I'll get out of your way and let you do this. They're gonna light this thing up, and yes, they've got a literal truck full of heads to be able to test on this motor. I believe there's another motor that's sitting over here as well. He's a very research guy, very particular kind of dude, and he wants to be able to test different things, different sets of heads, different modifications to be able to see what they do, which is a really cool comparison. I'm not gonna be able to show most of that kind of thing. I just happen to be up here and they happen to be in town doing this. So I want to include you guys in a little bit of that adventure and let you see what's going on. But if you want to go over his channel, I will link you guys up here on the top. If you're really into like the particulars about machining and specifically head work and that kind of stuff, he's definitely an awesome channel to watch. So Bob's going to help him get hooked up on the dyno, get all the fuel and the coolant and all that kind of, or the water all set up so that we can fire this guy up. We'll make some pulls on it and see what you get.
That's a lot.
Not bad. Not bad.
You gained 46 horsepower just off a head change?
Yeah.
No compression change?
Well, I mean, we picked up compression
Full
with that.
point.
A full point of compression?
Yeah,
Okay.
Well, and that helps make sense, I guess.
Can you overlay it with the last one?
Yep. So we got to go back, since I closed this out, we got to go back to the file. We got to open the runs. We got to go, we've got 7. You want to do 7?
Yeah.
Last one. And then we'll do open runs. We'll do 6.
Now, is this an intake change too?
No, same.
5.
Interesting.
So there you go.
That's a pretty good game.
That is.
So, something we were talking about off camera was that transitional point where you see that bump. That's kind of a thing you typically will see on a dual plane
Yeah.
versus a really clean linear line with a single plane.
I see them. When you pull them down further, you always have that because there's a spot where it's not. You can see that little dip there.
Yeah.
Where it's just not happy. It's
Right.
just where it's not in tune with the running links and whatnot, but then it comes around. But see, if you pulled from say 4,000 on, you never
Right,
saw
right.
it.
You pull it. You start past that point.
Yeah. But that's pretty good.
You can see where the AFRs are.
Yeah.
Jimmy Dale's motor back when we done it, and we were up here trying to make top horsepower, and we would see a dip. We could measure, or like we put either took in or took away air bleeds, and it fixed it.
Huh.
It helped bring it out of it. Now, I found that very amazing. Like this bump here, you know, we would, you know, in that Dominator, we would try to change air bleeds, and it would straighten that out.
Now, your policy kind of do a backup run,
Yeah, just to make sure.
verify.
It may pick up some more too, because typically, if you can get the water to the same one, right now that oil, since it's been sitting there, that oil takes all that heat and it's just absorbing it. So as it gets hotter, that's less horsepower it takes for the oil pump to drive. So the next one might be just a tick higher.
What was that yesterday? Was one horse?
Yeah. But still, one horse is one horse. But see, if you're like $4.99
Yeah.
versus 500, but this is more than one.
If you had 1 horses versus 2 horses, that's a big difference. That's a horse.
2 horse. We could put one in side by side.
Yeah,
Yeah.
side by
Put an
side.
ass in the middle.
That's right. I'll be the ass.
So this is Nick. This is actually his motor, and this is based off of 400 small block.
Yes, it is. Mid-70s, 400,
Okay.
30 over.
Okay.
It's a 4.155 bore.
Yeah.
It's a
Okay.
3.75 stroke. It's got a Z28 windage tray in it. It's a factory style oil pan.
Okay.
It's Summit forged rods. They're 350 Chevy style rods that are 5.7 in length.
Okay.
They're Hyper Eutectic Speed Pro pistons that have
Okay.
a 12cc dish. They've just got the standard 5/64 rings pack in it, first and second ring. It's setting 14 thousandths in the hole. We're using a Cometic at 41 thousandths head gasket, and the heads that we just ran on this test right here are IK180s. The IK180s are milled 40 thousandths to a 62cc combustion chamber. These
Okay.
are my heads, but I allowed Eric Weingartner to do a basic port job on them.
Okay.
He just wanted to do this test. It didn't cost me anything. He's just a friend that ported them for me.
Sure.
He's got his own channel.
Yeah.
And the intake is a L-Rock RPM. The carburetor spacer is a custom carburetor spacer that I make. It's non-symmetrical for dual plane intakes.
Okay.
And the carburetor is a 1000 CFM Pro Systems that I've had for over 15 years. Works real good. And I think we just made 525 with
Yeah.
500 and
525, 550.
wow, yeah, that's a record breaker torque for this type of combination for me. The cam is a hydraulic roller that is one of my cams that I have designed for 383s and 400s. It's a 235 on the intake at 50, measured at 50 thousandths, and it is on the exhaust at 247 measured at 50 thousandths. It's a 108 LSA with a lift of a 540 on the intake and a 560 on the exhaust. So
Interesting.
and
Okay.
comp cams high energy rockers, just their economical roller
Yeah.
rocker. valve covers are chrome valve covers from 1988 dress up package.
Yeah, chrome will get you home age.
Yeah. So anyway,
Is this built for anything to go into a specific vehicle?
it's just testing.
Or is this like a dyno mule?
Yeah, me and Eric me and Eric do quite a bit of testing together.
Yeah.
We're just friends, and we go around to different dyno shops, and we're out, just testing packages, looking for that magic stick and
Sure.
combination and yeah, this one was super nice. The torque
Yeah.
is really incredible. 549 on a 506. That's
Yeah.
massive. That's 454. Big
Right,
block torque.
that's big block torque for sure.
Yeah.
So, and this is not like a massively expensive combination of parts.
Oh no, yeah.
Like, you're not
it's
throwing-
It's not.
Really big number of stuff at this. This is pretty much stuff you can buy off the shelf. That's
I buy and sell big block Chevys and 400 small blocks and some 383s. But yeah, this is all stuff that I got off of Facebook Marketplace. The
wow.
heads were bought new.
Yeah.
And the intake was bought new. But then the rest of it, and pistons and rods. But the heart of it, the block, the crank, the oil pans used, a lot of stuff like that.
cool. Very cool. Yeah, that's definitely very respectable numbers, and it's a true
Normal
pump gas
guy,
motor.
no normal guy motor. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
93 octane. We just run that on.
Yeah, normal guy motor is definitely more of my
Oh,
style.
yeah.
I'm not a E85 methanol, all the race
Oh, yeah.
gas stuff. I want something I could just go to any hot rod or any gas station. Very cool. So what's the next thing you guys are gonna test on this thing?
We've got a set of Airport Research 195 that we're going to try, and we actually got 2 different models of it.
Wow. Okay.
Picked up.
So if you just keep pulling on it, is it just gonna go ahead and just keep making more power every time you do
Be
that?
1,000.
I wish it worked that way. Otherwise, Bobby pulling all the time and you have to have another shoulder surgery.
How many pulls have you made on this motor before this? On the short block.
Oh, there's probably 6 dyno sessions with 7 or 8 pulls each. I don't
Okay.
know. It's only been
Like
together.
it smoothed it up too.
It's probably only been together 18 months, and I've had it to 3 different dyno shops.
Okay. But it's not like we're seeing like the rings are seating kind of situation.
Nah,
We're finding
it's
more
broke
power.
in pretty good.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, curve looks better too.
Not better.
What adjustments did we make? Anything?
None.
None.
Hot oil.
Hot oil. Now you guys pulled this yesterday, right?
Yeah.
With a different set of heads.
Yes. 997.
997 heads. And that's what you're kind of setting as your baseline here.
Yeah.
And you played with different
Timing just
Timing
to
and
see what
stuff?
we do, and then we tried a different spacer and a larger carburetor. Just nothing major. Just see what it did.
What made the most difference, if anything? Or did nothing really make a difference?
Picked up by little changes, so each one gained like maybe 2 horsepower or so.
Okay.
Spacer got 4 and the carburetor got 6. I think that's the way it was. But we knew that they make better power. We just baselined it with a 1/2-inch stock open spacer and a 770 brawler that I test a lot of motors with, lower horsepower motors with, under 500 horse.
Gotcha. Now, in my experience, a lot of times when you run a spacer, you're going to see it usually kind of tends to rob from the torque side of things and add to the horsepower side of things.
So you want me
Is
to
that
pull
something
the grill down?
you've seen in your testing also, or no?
Oh yeah, that's the way it works.
I just turned this water on.
The spacer that I've got is a cloverleaf design, and it is a non-symmetrical. One side's different size than the other, and I've done a lot of research and development on that, and I've got it to where it works the best with dual plane intake manifold, small block, big block, anything above 450 horse, it works real good. So it will give you the best of horsepower you can get, like an open spacer, but it also gives you a flatter torque curve.
Okay. Okay.
The rest is supposed to be better weather.
I don't have them for sale yet, but I'm working on it.
This is a product.
This is the prototype, yeah.
I got it. I got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Where will this type of thing be available once it's available?
I don't know. I don't have my online store set up yet, but I'm working on all that.
Okay.
I'm working on the product right now.
Is this something you've shown on your channel before?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I haven't shown the product, but I've shown the differences.
Okay.
Yeah.
Give me your channel again.
DZ Performance.
DZ Performance.
Yeah, see, it corrects it automatically. So this dyno has a weather station built into it. And I was just talking to him. He was like, you know, we're probably done for the day or whatever, switching, got to switch heads. But I asked, do you want to run it again first thing in the morning with better air? But you can see how the correction factor works. You know, I'm just pointing out the details. See, this over here shows you weather correction for it to play a part in it. But I think there's still going to be a small degree of error between this front going through today and how beautiful it'll be tomorrow.
Yeah, so your temp yesterday and temp today are the same, but your humidity is... Well, that was pretty cool. About what you guys expected? Better than expected?
Better than expected.
I have low expectations, so everything's the same.
Set the bar low, that way you're never disappointed. I understand. So next thing you're going to do is port my Pontiac heads, right?
No, those are cast iron that appears.
Yeah, these ones you don't need to do, but my other pair of cast iron ones.
No, cast iron.
No, you don't do the cast iron thing, huh?
No, I prefer life. So no.
It's not common anymore, I don't think, for most people to even spend any time or money on cast iron heads.
I know there's guys out there that do it, but I don't know who they are. I mean, I know of one, but I just hate saying, I know of someone that'll do it because then they get bombarded and I feel bad for them.
Yeah. Well, but the thing is, like, with the quality and the pricing now on a lot of aluminum heads, unless you're trying to perform in a super stock class or a stock class that has to have cast iron heads, 95% of the time it makes more sense to just go aluminum.
Yep. You're kind of the exception because if you look at the Pontiac side, the aftermarket support isn't there as much, so finding an actual set of an aftermarket aluminum heads will be much more difficult than just finding a set of cast iron heads that you could work on. So you're just kind of stuck.
And from my power levels, I'm not looking to set the world on fire.
I'm gonna go ahead and tell you this. Anybody that ever says, no, I'm not trying to set the world on fire, they mean yet. Because everybody wants to go faster. So
we'll see. We'll see. My problem is what I will end up doing is leaving these ones alone and then just building another motor to do. Like, for God's sakes, have you ever met anybody that's building two Pontiac 350s at the same time?
No, it sounds like it's horrible.
Well, that's why I have Bob.
Bob, poor Bob.
Exactly. And that's also probably one of the reasons it's taken Bob so long to get this project moved forward. It's because Bob doesn't really want to do it.
Well, you got the one-arm bandit, though.
Bob's ignoring us. He's got that Chuck Schumer look over the top of the glasses. So this stuff is going to be mostly for your channel? For your channel?
Probably more for his. I'll probably do some of the technical stuff, but most of it will be on his.
It'll all be on my channel, but yeah, a lot of it will be on theirs too.
Okay. And now you've got, how many more sets of heads you're going to try on this?
We think 2 more.
2 more, but I'm hoping the AFR new enforcers show up.
Oh, that's right. You were supposed to have a set of heads delivered today or tomorrow?
So I thought they would be here yesterday, but...
Well, if you guys go home and they haven't came and they show up, I'll never find them.
Sure didn't show up. Might want to go ahead and buy another set.
They didn't show up here.
So you've got a new set of enforcer heads.
Yeah, and then the old set. Because they've changed. AFR still sells the old one, so I want to make sure everybody understands that. And just in case you have a damaged one for whatever reason, they still sell those, but the new ones that they have are a different design. They're supposed to make more power. I haven't had a chance to even flow them yet, but they said to me set the test, so we'll at least know how much power it makes difference-wise between the old and new.
Gotcha.
And that'll be just neat for you consumers. Yeah. I don't think they even cost any difference versus the old versus new. I know they had a price increase just because of things in general, but as far as the old enforcers and new enforcers, they're essentially the same cost.
And this way you can see as a customer base, like the R&D development process has gained me X power.
Yeah, you would. Which I would hope they would pick up. I don't know why they wouldn't. They've done independent testing too, which is great because a lot of companies, they just say, well, it makes X amount, it's better, but then they don't have any actual testing. They have done testing.
Yeah.
So they just like having other independent people like myself to test that, to say, hey, they're not lying. So that's what it's for.
Same valves? Same.
Same valves. So AFR uses the same valves, whether you got the enforcer head or the eliminator heads, or for the Renegades. Those are all the same valves that they put in those, because they're all of them, even the enforcer line, are assembled in America, and they use the same parts. So they're not using cheaper knockoff stuff for the enforcers versus their full CNC line. It's the same parts. It's just the casting itself is not fully ported.
Gotcha. Okay. And you'll be able to test these like literally back to back. Run one set, pull them off, set another one on.
As fast as we can, but we are not all that fast sometimes.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. But at least you'll be able to say like as close to apples as possible.
As close as
same
we can.
bottom end,
Yep.
same day.
Yep.
Back to back pulls.
Yep. That's the hope.
Cool. Well, there you go. If you're interested in the more dyno-y type things, I'll link for both these guys in the description of this video so you can see their type of stuff. Eventually, I'll be able to dyno one of my own motors up here. More I say that, the longer it's going to take, I think. But we're making progress. We got a bunch of things that are ready to rock and roll. We just got to get a couple things done. Bob has obviously got a lot of much more important customer type stuff for him to get done, which is totally fine. My work is kind of a fill-in type of thing for him to be able to kind of squeeze into his schedule as he can. And I do truly appreciate him for being able to do that and squeeze me in and be willing to work on my old cast iron Pontiac crap. We're not, again, trying to set the world on fire with this, but it'll be neat to be able to compare baseline stock rebuild Pontiac 350 and what it does versus a Pontiac 350 HO with big money spent at it with larger valves and better heads and supporting in the heads and all that kind of stuff. We're also going to be able to test various different intake manifolds that we're going to use on this. I'm going to have probably 4 or 5, or maybe even more intake manifolds that we'll be able to test on that Pontiac 350 HO build to see what makes power, where it makes power, how much it makes, and what those intakes make directly as a comparison without changing anything else. I've also recently spoken with my friends over at PRW, and they are going to be getting me a set of their brand new Pontiac rockers that I'm going to be able to test as well. So that'll be really cool. And we'll see what it makes. If it makes anything north, honestly, of 400 horsepower, I'm going to be ecstatic. 400 horsepower to Pontiac 350 would be rolling. But I have no idea. I've never done this, and I've never seen anybody build something like this. So if you're interested in Pontiac power stuff, stick around for that. I will promise you I will bring that to you as soon as I possibly can. It is race car and fun car season here right now. So production is a little crazy. Whenever Bob can get moving on stuff of mine, in between stuff for Bill and Billy and Tommy and all those guys, and not to mention his own stuff. He's got a 427 Chevy that he's building for his Nova that he's got to get done. And all that stuff is vastly more important than me getting my stuff done, because realistically speaking, I don't really need those motors back right now. I don't have the time or the space to be able to put them back in the car, even if I had them back. But it'll be cool to be able to run them on his dyno and be able to compare the results back to back. So if you're into that kind of thing and you can put up with my big bearded self, hi, my name is Austin. This is Automotive Adventures with Austin. And it's a various type of thing, automotive related channel. Sometimes it's racing, sometimes it's car building, sometimes it's me just talking. There's all kinds of different things you're going to see here, but it is usually going to star me. So if you can put up with me and you want to see what I do on my automotive adventures and my YouTube journey, it'd be great to see you again on another video. If you've followed along and you've watched other videos of mine, thank you very much. It's you guys that watch the stuff that I do that helps me pay for what it is I do. So I couldn't be doing this if it weren't for you, and I truly, truly mean that. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye. Oh, hey, Bob, any words of wisdom?
Don't have surgery, sir. Don't have shoulder surgery.
Don't have shoulder surgery? Now, since you're doing work on this means you get to sign this, right?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Its value just went up.
Value just went up.
Let me